Rock on. Hey, everyone. Thanks for letting me have a little lunch with you. I appreciate it. We're going to fire through a bunch of quick info. I wanted to share this with you. This is my blog post that I posted this morning. I'll drop this in the chat box because MIT came out with a great video, if you guys have not seen it, about deep fakes, and I've got it embedded in here. Why do you want to see this? It's because not everything you see on the internet is believable. A lot of it's made up. And that's a good example of something. You'll have to take a look at that. It looks like Richard Nixon, makes it look like Richard Nixon recorded a video saying that Apollo 11 actually crashed. But of course, we all know the truth for that. So number one, first thing, and after that, take a look at the chat box also. Earlier, I put another link in. I'll do it again because I know how Zoom works. So you guys can get to it. You can download that document and it will help you refer back to some things that we'll talk about today. So I got two victims we're going to fire through today. We've got Jared and we've got Hal. We're going to look at their profiles and we're going to look for just two things. There's a lot of things that you could do on your LinkedIn profile to make things a little more robust. But we're going to focus on the two things that are probably, you focus on these two things, you'll have a huge impact. Number one, Jared is here. He's that's the hole he's standing on there as his banner. I think he's back up there to the right. Will you wave, Jared? Yeah, there he is. Our big six man. No, just kidding. So first thing, most important thing on your profile is your profile picture. I'm going to click on Jared's. You can see the size that pops up. Here's why I do that. It gives you a sense of how large or the quality of his photo. Is it a high def image or not? Let's go to you, Hal. Let's take a look at yours, see if it's bigger. Okay. So what you're seeing here, these are good quality pictures. They work well. You need to make sure that you are taking a look at your photo to make sure that it is not pixelated when it's opened, because it's as simply is this is how people are going to interact with you. The number one thing, the most important thing that people do when they meet you is they look you in the eye. I used to say people meet you and they shake your hand and look you in the eye. I don't know that's going to go away, but we don't cease to be human, even though we're on LinkedIn. So as I look at Jared's profile, I want to interact with his eyes. I'm going to look at him. So Jared, what I would do on your photo is I would switch your profile picture to one where you're looking at the camera so that you can mimic what it would be like if we were meeting each other. Hal, yours is there. You and I have the same challenge, and there's not much you and I can do about this. When we smile, our eyes get a little smaller. I'm the exact same way. So you just got to be aware of that. You want to make sure people can see your eyes as best as possible in your profile picture. Now, for all of you, how do you know if you've got a good profile picture? I want you to go to this site here, photofeeler.com. Photofeeler.com is the place to go to drop in your photos and get a crowdsourced response on your photos. So we're just going to go. This guy is Anthony Melchiori. He does a show on the Travel Channel called Hotel Impossible. Notice his picture. He's not looking at the camera. We can't see his eyes. He's very professional. Notice his competence, likability, and influence numbers. They're, how do they look? Well, they look not great, quite frankly, because if you look at this fella, you can see he's looking at the eyes. We can see him well. Notice his competence, likability, and influence numbers are higher. So keep this in mind. This is on the documentation I sent over to you guys. Photofeeler.com. It's a crowdsource site. Oh, and you know what? I have some samples for the ladies. We had a model join us. You can see her picture. We really got a great model. Her numbers were killing it. Absolutely phenomenal. Here's something we learned. Number one, you want to make sure we can see your eyes well. A jacket makes a difference for both men and women. Ties for men don't make a difference for your competence and influence numbers. So across the board, we found that was very true. So that's how you know. That's how you find it. If you have a great profile picture, drop your own pictures in there, and you can check those out. The next thing that's most important is your headline. This is the line right here, right below your name. If I can highlight that correctly. So there's Jared's headline, commercial insurance agent, and Hal, yours is here. This line is 220 characters long. It's the most important part to search. So when it comes to search engine optimization, right, for the search inside of LinkedIn, those words are most important. All right, somebody give me a title. Holler it out to me. Any title, name it. Yep. Anyone?
Influencer.
Okay, that's not a title. Thank you
Oh,
though for
mechanic.
playing. But that's a good question.
President.
Well, let's do this, Jonathan. Good. If I'm looking for someone to do business with, or I'm looking someone to give me a solution, I'm probably going to be more specific than president or influencer, but those are both good. So let's say I was looking for Hal. Hal, what would I look for?
For me, I was thinking COO. Somebody's.
All right. So if I'm going to look for somebody that's a COO, well, let's go COO. I'm probably not going to get the specific information that I want, but let's see what happens. COO, I'm going to click people here and I'm going to get COO from everywhere. Now, maybe we're looking to prospect and that's perfectly fine, but you'll notice what shows up here are the COO is either in the title further down on the LinkedIn profile or it's in the headline. Or notice all these that are coming up in the headline. This is the example of what I want you to see. So Hal, what do you describe what you do? I know you're a medical insurance provider, right? There's more to that. What describes you?
Health insurance and employee benefits.
Oh, employee benefits. Let's go that way. Employee, I can spell employee benefits. And I'm on people, so I don't have to change this again. So you can see I'm up here in people. Notice what happens. This guy, I'm not connected to Todd, right? Employee benefits shows up. Notice this one, employee benefits. You see what's happening? So Hal, if you are looking for people to find you under employee benefits, you need to make sure that you get employee benefits in your headline. How do you guys do this? How do you come up with the right words? There's two ways. Number one is I just want you to sit back and think about the words. You saw the exercise we just went through. Title may not work. What words will someone use to find you? Employee benefits would be 2 words. So Hal may say employee and benefits. There's his top 2 words. I want him to come up with 20. So how you do that with 20 words? Why 20? It's going to be hard. So you work hard, you come up with 20 words. And once you come up with 20 words, and by the way, influence and experience and knowledgeable, not those words, hard hitting words that people will use to find you, rank them after you come up with your 20, with 1 being the most important, 20 being the least important. Now you have a roadmap. Your roadmap is what words do I want to build in my headline? Now, can you have a value statement up here, right? Could you say providing high quality healthcare options? I just totally made that up, Hal. That's probably not the best one, but you get the gist. Yeah, that's fine. You have 220 characters here. Then after that, start dropping in those key words, starting off at word number 1, most important, all the way down to word 20. Now, you're not going to get them all to fit, and that's fine. Sprinkle the rest of them through your profile. Here's one other way you can find those words. I'm going to go to my profile. I'll show you guys a great trick. I'm going to page down to the skills and endorsements section. We're getting there. There we go. So here's skills and endorsements. And I got to do this on mine because I can't add a new skill on yours. So I want you to click add a new skill. And here in the skills section, I'm going to type in health. Notice all these words that pop up here as options. These will give you guys great suggestions of search words. Now, here's something else, Hal. You've probably already done this because you're really great on LinkedIn. All of the words that health fit for you, you need to make sure you add them to your skills, but you're going to get a good number of words here that you could add to your top 20 to add to your headline. All right. I think I've talked for 7 minutes. How'd that go? Jared, you timing me over there? TikTok?
I'm not timing you, man. I'm just
I think
just listening.
Mark, I think the point was there are things, little tweaks that we can be doing and focusing ourselves as, we've gotten somewhere. There's always a chance to up our game.
Right.
So you want to open it up for some questions from the group?
I do. So anyone, questions on anything, wide open.
So I've heard that typically people don't put their title and company in the headline, but I see that you have president of ePresence. Is that, what are your thoughts there?
So number 1, Wayne, I think it's a very good thing to think about, because if you compromise search terms with your title and company, then don't use it. So don't put them there if that's an issue. Here is something to think about. This happened. I'll tell you why mine's there. About 3 weeks ago, the company disappeared from the top of the profile. LinkedIn did something. Somebody went, whoops. You know, you guys remember Airplane where the guy unplugged all the runway lights and he was standing there going, ha, ha, ha. Somebody may have done that at LinkedIn and got rid of the company name at the top. That's why I put that in there. Here's the thing that you need to think about. If your title will help people want to do business with you, then put it there, right?
Okay.
My target audience are CEOs and COOs. I want the entire executive suite to hire us because we'll manage their personal social media for them. So my title is important to my audience. If your title isn't important to your audience, skip it.
Okay. That's helpful. Thanks.
You bet.
Mark, I've got a question. So I'm currently employed until Friday, and I'm actually after Friday, I'm going to be focusing on my startup. What should I put out there in terms of being, communicating that to my connections and updating, a profile?
Awesome. So Lee, you're going to have to answer this yourself, and this is how you do it. Who do you want to speak to with your LinkedIn profile? Who's your audience, right? You got to step back. And if you're doing a startup, you're going to be all involved in marketing. Who's your target audience? And then speak to them. So I can't answer that for you, but if you think about the person that it lands on your profile, so maybe you're trying to raise money. I'm just going to bring some, grab something out of the air. If you're trying to raise money, then you better speak to that audience and make sure that your about section really speaks to that audience. And in your about section, here's what I want you to do. I want you to have 3 things in the beginning. Number 1, don't start off your first line saying, I am Lee Miller and I rock the world at doing X. I want you to say to your target audience, here's your pain point target audience. Like we're doing webinars now. So mine is need a job, want a promotion, need to be more relevant, or want to be better connected to your clients. Learn the most important parts of your LinkedIn profile that'll catapult it to achieve your goals. What am I doing? I'm identifying my pain points. So as my audience lands here, they go, oh my God, you're speaking to me. Then they'll click the see more. You want that. So think about that audience. Now, I will tell you this also, Lee, if you're in a startup, you're going to have to put on your calendar, change your target audience because it will change. You're going to be here, and in about 8 months, you're going to be over here. Switch it as you need to. Mm-hmm. Hey guys, here's something else. And this reminds me of the about section used to be called the summary. It's called about because it's your personal website, right? You go on websites now, they all have the about section. Think of your LinkedIn profile as your personal website. If it's your personal website, you're going to keep it active. So Lee, you got to keep it active.
Thank you.
Rock on. What else we got? Fire away. Renee.
Hi.
I love it. She's raising her hand.
Yeah. So I know you touched on profile pictures and about looking at the camera in open eyes, but my question is very specifically about the backgrounds in profile pictures. Some people have busy ones.
Yep.
And what your thoughts? I know I have my thoughts on that, but I want to hear yours.
Number 1, have one. Why? It's the difference between the experience of a motor lodge and a 5-star 5-diamond hotel. When I'm in a 5-star 5-diamond hotel, I know I am because I walk in, they have crown molding, they have marble, they've got beautiful things, right? When I land on a profile that has a banner, it makes me like the experience more, right? This is a pleasant experience, number 1. Number 2, it better not be pixelated. If it looks cheap, I'm back to the 3-star hotel.
Right, but I'm asking about, see Jared's picture?
Yep.
I'm not talking about the banner. Look at his picture.
Background.
Yes.
Background. All right.
Renee's just picking on me.
I find it distracting, but what is, in your professional LinkedIn opinion?
Good. So my LinkedIn opinion is you want to be quasi-social, so having a background is better. What do you think about my background? Because it's not as distracting as lights. It looks like it looks like Christmas for him, for the record.
It looks like he's at a holiday party. And to me, I'm like, can you not take a clean photo, like a headshot? Like I've seen people that literally were in front of their kitchen cabinets and I told them they had to change it. That was
bravo.
They couldn't keep that.
I don't take that many good pictures, Renee, all right?
I will take a great picture of you if you want. I will offer you my photography services.
I think that Renee's bringing up a good point. LinkedIn is the space where you need to have a professional photo. You don't want to have one that you've cropped out your loved ones that is not well lit. I think when you go in and you're interacting with someone, if they have what looks like a social media crop selfie, it's not professional enough for most. So I think that you're onto something, Renee. And I'll tell you how you answer that. You go to Photo Feeler and you drop in your pictures, you're going to find that that selfie shot doesn't perform as well.
Like this guy, go down. This guy on the left with all this business behind him.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe he's like at the NASDAQ, whatever, ringing the bell. But unless he's doing that, like, I just find it distracting.
I think you're on a good point. So for the record, this guy here and these two are the same guy. We did he wanted to know which picture was best, and notice this one, which has him not looking at the camera, ended up performing the best. And I think that that's an exception to the rule.
Clean cut. Where that one he's in his cubicle with this green lamp.
Right.
To me, it's a cleaner background than the one to the left of it, but it's still like, it's a no effort picture. That's what it is.
Bingo.
It's a no effort.
I think you're spot on. Well put, well said.
All right, we got time for one more question from Mark.
Okay, here we go. So you've given us a couple of tips on the picture and on the skills and the about. So we've taken care of the easy stuff. Now, if we do nothing else on LinkedIn today, but if we're going to do 3 things before 6 o'clock today on LinkedIn, aside from the easy stuff, what are those 3 things that we need to do before we quit for the day?
The number one hardest thing I'm going to stay on a profile for now, right? And then we'll talk about posting. Number one, you need to make sure that you have an about section that is going to speak specifically to your audience. So, Jared, we're totally picking on you, man. I'm so sorry, but you start off here and you're talking about you. So this is that piece, top 3 lines, because it's what everybody's going to read before they click see more. First sentence, identify your audience's pain point. Speak to it. What is your audience's pain point? I would just be very specific with that. Then, how does your audience feel when that pain point is solved? That's step 2. That's actually sentence number 2. And then number 3, how you solve that pain point. Because what you're going to do is you're going to draw in your audience in the first line. You're going to tell that audience how they're going to feel if it's solved. And then you say, I'm the person that can solve it, but don't say it specifically like that. Then when that happens, the people are going to click see more. And then I want you to share the next thing, Jonathan. Here's what you need to say. This is what I do, and this is why I'm passionate about it. Because I want to work with somebody who's passionate about it. I want to work with somebody who's passionate about the work they do. I just don't want to work with somebody who does their job because that's their job. I can find a gazillion of those people. Standing out is passion. Show me why, tell me, and express, especially if you can tell a story, why you're passionate about it. That's number 1. Number 2, I would grow your audience. How do you do that? So you come down, Jared's got 897 followers. Could he grow that? He probably can by doing this. Going in and downloading his contacts from his Outlook. Oops, I'm in the wrong spot. Hold on. Downloading all of his contacts. All I want him to do is get his emails. So get all your emails from your contacts in Outlook or Gmail, and then go up here to My Network at the very top of the screen. And then when you get to My Network, look on the left. And I'll be damned if I can remember what it says on your screen, because I do this all the time. But you want to look for this little tile here where it talks about importing contacts. It says my contact import is ready. Yours isn't going to say that. It's going to say send invitations to contacts or something. And you want to click more options. This next screen is going to encourage you to do all this other stuff. I want you to look for upload a file. This is the right-hand side. Go to upload a file. You upload your contacts as a CSV, and now you're sending connection requests to people you already know. It'll immediately grow your audience. Then when you start posting, Jonathan, and you start sharing your 80-20 posts, 80% of the time, give out value. 20% of the time, sell. All right, let's make that a little easier. 4 posts, you're giving out quality content where you're helping your audience. 1 post you sell, right? 4 to 1. So 4 times you're sharing great quality content. 1 time you say, hey, I can help you with that. When you grow your audience by uploading a file, you are now reaching them more often on LinkedIn than any other place, because organic reach by dropping a post on LinkedIn is going to reach more people. You do those things, Jonathan, you're about 70% of everybody else on LinkedIn.
Okay, done.
Rock on.
All right, Jonathan, just make sure you got no follow-up.
I got notes. I got all these notes.
Got it. All right, we're going to grab this back. Mark, wonderful stuff. It's just making us think that there's so many pieces. And I think the way Jonathan asked the question, what's the priority? Because we could spend a whole lot of time doing little minutia things or tweaking things, but I appreciate that. And for those who want to find Mark, you've got his contact information.
So if you guys would do me a favor, I have one quick thing, Hal.
Yep.
I'll put this in the comments. If each of you would go to send a text message and just send the word lunch to 404, and I'll put this all in the comments, 404-795-4310. So text the word lunch to that number. You can tell me how I did today. I'd like to know what you guys think so that we can continue to make our training better. So if you'll punch that in there, and if you want more information, you can also respond there to get more information. And we do have webinars that are hour long where I cover the 5 key things to a LinkedIn profile.
And I can tell you, having seen some of Mark's work, it's worth the time. It makes you think when you realize that LinkedIn's got such a large audience. In wrapping up, because it is a little after 12:30, and wrapping up, try to end on a funny note as far as our meme of the day, and point out that next week we're discussing 3 things to consider if you ever want to sell your business. Week after that, what to do for exhibits and events in the marketplace. Kind of an interesting concept because we're used to going to trade shows or events in person, and Dave will be talking about what's happening different about that. And then Kyle Wingfield is with Georgia Public Policy Foundation, talking about trends and stats that'll help you with impact your budgeting for next year. So Mark, thank you again. Really good stuff. Anybody else who wants to reach Mark, you know how to find him, and let's all have a great week. Take care.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. I'm
Thank you.
glad to be here. Been your guinea pig.
See you guys.
Good lunch, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.